Is ESP, or extrasensory perception, real, or is it just a bunch of stuff people made up to explain inexplicable things? You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. If one wants to prove whether or not telepathy can exist, one strong, convincing case for its existence should be sufficient, because that's analogous to saying that one living brontosaurus is proof that the species isn't extinct. William James, the late professor of psychology at Harvard, shared the same view on what is sufficient proof. He described paranormal experiences as white crows, and said that if you wish to upset the law that all crows are black, you must seek to show not that no crows are black, it's enough for you to prove one single crow to be white. That's Matt, I'm Ben, and today we wanted to talk about a fascinating book called the ESP Enigma. This book starts with the fascinating assumption that ESP is not only a real phenomena, but has also been proven extensively. And when she says ESP, she's saying things like premonitions, precognition, remote viewing, clairvoyance, even psychokinesis, PK. Another interesting thing here is that this author is not a self-professed expert on things. She is a former member of the Harvard medical facilities. She studied at Johns Hopkins. These are places that sort of require you to know what you're talking about. So she comes to this with the context of being someone familiar with rigorous scientific research. And what she has to say in this book can be amazing. Granted, there's a lot of anecdotal information here. If you are at all interested in the great debate over ESP, then you already know the old saying, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof, which is, according to this author and according to William James, a lot like saying if you want to prove that not all crows are black, you need to prove that they're all white. But I like the way that she sums it up here. She says, applying James's analogy to the status of psychic research, there have been several sightings of white birds. Scientists haven't disputed that they are white, just whether they are crows. So it seems like there's a huge argument over methodology. But of course, a lot of people who throw this stuff out with the bathwater and say that no, psychic powers, those people may not be aware of the extensive research that has been conducted. Now, most people do know about Project Stargate, which was a real life thing where the United States government paid for research into remote viewing, most famously with a fellow named Ingo Swann. Some people also might know that the USSR and China also conducted research into psychic powers. Now, I would say that this book is an excellent starting point. If you want to learn more about those experiments, you'll need to dig deeper yourself. Also, for people who are watching the show and think, Matt and Ben, this is junk, this is pseudoscience, you might not like this book as much, because we do need to be clear, this author begins with the assumption that ESP is real. For her, the enigma is not, does it exist? The enigma is, what are the implications of its existence? So it's very much a pro-ESP book. Tell us what you think about this book if you get a chance to read it. As always, you can befriend us on Facebook, you can drop us a line on Twitter, and you can send us an old-fashioned email at conspiracy@discovery.com. Who knows? We might read it on the show. Do you believe in psychic powers? Do you believe that you have psychic powers? If so, cut out the Facebook and just tell me right now. Holy shit.